I have a recurring dream. A bushman is hunting in an endless savannah along with a cheetah. A savage, some would call the man, as wild as the animal that accompanies him. Instead, he is a man who knows this land as well as he knows himself. He understands its subtle signals, is inextricably linked to its nature, is an integral part of it. He is immersed in its grandeur and never tires of gazing at its vistas, perhaps trying to grasp their essence and purpose. There is no need to consult Freud to interpret my dream. It is obvious that subconsciously I want to be like this man. To be able to embrace and perceive the immensity of the African landscape. To learn its secrets. To understand what it is that makes it different. Or perhaps simply to return to the cradle from which we were all born all those years ago. In short, this continent arouses unusual emotions in me. Of course, I'm happy when I photograph pumas and guanacos in Patagonia, or rare birds in New Guinea. But not as happy as when I am working on this continent. The man in my dream doesn't need a computer, let alone a book, to identify a species. I do. For now. My task this time is to document how in the dense South African bush it is possible for a determined wildlife photographer to have exceptional encounters, even outside the huge natural parks. It isn't easy, but I don't mind at all. What I'm looking for is the Africa that is completely hidden from tourist eyes. I rely on a guide I know well, a man of experience who has already accompanied me on other trips in the area, an alter ego of the African in my dream. In the undergrowth, we can see animals only when they cross the road. It would be better to continue on foot and try another approach. But we have to be very careful. In this dense thicket, even large animals can blend in very well. But these elephants feel more vulnerable in the slightly more open area and leave as soon as they realize they are being watched. A little further on lies the remains of something that cannot run away, the carcass of a rhinoceros brought down by poachers. It isn't pleasant to find more and more signs like this every time I come back to Africa. Majestic but vulnerable animals killed in the name of profit. But all is not lost. Here are a few animals that seem oblivious to the fact that their species is so threatened by human greed. I'd like to ask the man who appears in my dreams if his gods know how much longer we will be able to observe the behavior of these giants in the wild. These are black rhinos, those most at risk of extinction. They are known for their solitary and... But no, it's amazing. Even the newcomer is accepted by the group. I've never seen such good-natured behavior among adult black rhinos. But up to a point. The group disperses, and each one goes on its way, alone, by the book. A final look at the carcass of the less fortunate rhinoceros, and then we head for the river. To get there, we have to cross a deep gorge. We are in the southern part of that split in the Earth's crust known as the Rift Valley, which stretches some 6,000 kilometers from Syria to Mozambique. Here the continent, driven by slow but inexorable tectonic forces, is breaking in two. One day there will be a sea in this gorge separating two coasts. But it is not something that need worry me now. It will take millions and millions of years. It is here in the Rift Valley that the remains of our ancestors have been found. Here was born the species that unites the man in my dream and me. Perhaps my DNA retains an imprint of this origin. Is that why I feel Africa so intensely? Just a little further to the river. Perhaps this herd of buffalo is heading for the waterhole. Our presence has obviously bothered them. Here is a clear indication of the proximity of the water. Finally, the river. A few more meters to position ourselves better so I can photograph my subjects without disturbing them. During the day it seems that the hippos have nothing to do but wallow in their pools and doze. In fact, they have a very busy social life. They continuously interact to establish hierarchies and dominance, providing good opportunities for my photographic portraits. There is something wrong with one of them. A steel noose that has made a deep gash in its neck. It's clearly a gift from unscrupulous poachers. We're leaving, sadly certain that that hippo won't have long to live. Now we have to ford the river to reach an area frequented by a group of baboons. But between the monkeys and us are some disturbing presences. Fortunately, the great reptiles seem busy with something else. A group of guinea fowl accompany us as we approach the baboons.